90% of all Proteus infections in human are caused by what organism? A. Proteus penneri. B. Proteus mirabilis. C. Proteus vulgaris. D. Proteus myxofaciens. The answer is B. Proteus mirabilis. While Proteus penneri and Proteus vulgaris do cause opportunistic infections in a small percentage of people, 90% of Proteus infections in humans are caused by Proteus mirabilis. Proteus myxofaciens is only found in insect hosts and does not infect humans. Proteus mirabilis is classified as which of the following? A. Gram-positive, anaerobic, rod-shaped. B. Gram-positive, aerobic, coccus. C. Gram-negative, anaerobic, rod-shaped. D. Gram-negative, anaerobic, coccus. The answer is A. Gram-negative, anaerobic, rod-shaped. Proteus mirabilis is a gram-negative, facultatively anaerobic, rod-shaped, bacillus, bacteria. It produces large amounts of the enzyme aureus, which is able to hydrolyze urea to ammonia, causing the distinctively high pH seen in the urine of individuals with a Proteus mirabilis infection. Which of the following bacteria is gram-positive cocci that is found in clusters? A. Staphlococcyous aureus. B. E. coli. C. Streptococcyous pyogenes. D. Pseudomonas. The answer is A. Staphlococcyous aureus. Bacteria are classified as either gram-positive or gram-negative. Gram-positive bacteria stain purple because of their thick peptidoglycan cell wall. Staph and strep groups are both gram-positive. Bacteria can then be organized based on their shape. Cocci are circular while bacilli are rectangular in shape. Staph grows in clusters. If a colony of round or oval-shaped bacteria are arranged in a random grape-like cluster, they must be A. Streptococci. B. Spirochetes. C. Streptobacilli. D. Staphylococci. E. There is no way to predict based on the information provided. The answer is D. Staphylococci. The two most common bacterial arrangements are staph and strep. Staph is a non-symmetrical arrangement like a cluster of grapes. Strep indicates a chain of bacteria. The three most common bacterial shapes are listed below. Coccus, round or oval. Bacillus, rectangular or rod-shaped. Spirula, spirochete spiral. Which of the following correctly describes the classification of Bordetella pertussis? A. Gram-negative aerobic rod. B. Gram-negative anaerobic cocci. C. Gram-positive aerobic cocci. D. Gram-positive anaerobic rod. The answer is A. Gram-negative aerobic rod. Bordetella pertussis is a gram-negative, rod-shaped aerobe. It requires oxygen to function and commonly infects the respiratory tract of young children, causing whooping cough. Which of the following describes the classification of Neisseria gonorrhoeae? A. Gram-positive rod. B. Gram-negative diplococcus. C. Gram-negative rod. D. Gram-positive diplococcus. The answer is B. Gram-negative diplococcus. Neisseria gonorrhoeae is a gram-negative coccus bacterium that generally presents as a diplococcus, in pairs of cocci. Vibrio cholerae is classified as what type of bacteria? A. Gram-positive facultative rods. B. Gram-negative cocci. C. Gram-negative facultative rods. D. Gram-positive cocci. The answer is C. Gram-negative facultative rods. Vibrio cholerae is classified as gram-negative facultative rods. This bacteria is the most well-known amongst the Vibrio species as it's the cause of cholera, which produces a toxin that causes very severe diarrhea. Any species of bacteria that feeds on dead matter is termed a dash. A. Halophile. B. Saprophyte. C. Archbacteria. D. Thermophile. The answer is B. Saprophyte. Bacteria or any other microbes that feed on dead matter are termed saprophytes. Thermophilic microbes thrive in heated environments. Halophiles such as Vibrio parahemolyticus prefer salt water, and archaebacteria are a group of bacteria found in high heat, high salt content locations such as sewage treatment plants and are able to tolerate many extreme habitats. E. coli is classified as what type of bacteria? A. Gram-positive rod. B. Gram-negative rod. C. Gram-negative cocci. D. Gram-positive cocci. The answer is B. Gram-negative rod. E. coli is a gram-negative rod. It's a lactose-fermenting bacteria commonly implicated in urinary tract infections and less frequently in gastroenteritis. Which of the following describes the morphology and features of Staphylococcus species? A. Gram-positive cocci, catalase positive. B. Gram-negative rods, catalase negative. C. Gram-positive rods, catalase negative. D. Gram-negative cocci, catalase positive. The answer is A. Gram-positive cocci, catalase positive. Staphylococcus species are gram-positive, catalase positive cocci. The most famous member of this bacterial species, Staphylococcus aureus, is commonly implicated in skin infections, upper respiratory infections, and gastroenteritis, food poisoning.